everyone, it's Shel C from PaperOcotilloStudio. Today I'm sharing with you a pretty easy little neon fishy page in my junk journal. This junk journal is one that I've created out of junk, and as I was flipping through I saw this page. I taught a class about collage and I made a page of images that the people could use in the class to make their collage. It was an ocean scene, and this is the printed out page of it. I didn't need it anymore. It was on my desk in a pile, so I just folded it and added it to the junk journal. And when I saw that, I thought, oh, fishies. I could do neon fishies with my new neon paints, because in the Art Joy of Sharing art community this month, we're doing hashtag AJOS Neon Pop as the theme. So I have some neon gouache here. This is acrylic gouache from Liquitex. I've got some titanium white paint there to mix with it. And then I did put a drop of the blue, the fluorescent blue acrylic paint from the fluorescence set of the heavy body paint. So the blue one is heavy body acrylic paint from Liquitex. The rest of them are the gouache. The heavy body paint does appear to be more opaque, but I am also mixing in titanium white acrylic paint, which is extremely opaque. Now on the left-hand side over here, this is a card. It was like a thank you note or something that someone gave me, and I sewed it into my junk journal because junk journals are made out of junk. It's a cute card, and actually the front part of it is on a different page, but it's shiny, it's glossy, it's not taking the paint as well and making it kind of streaky, so I made sure the other side was streaky as well. So I'm mixing the fluorescent blue and the fluorescent green, and then also the titanium white acrylic paint to make kind of a watery scene. And then at the bottom I'm adding in the sand using the titanium white mixed with the fluorescent yellow and the fluorescent orange. So that's the sandy bottom of whatever place this scene is. Then once that's all dry, I think I would like some seaweed or something, and so I grab a StencilGirl stencil, and I end up making this whole page with StencilGirl stencils. This one is designed by oh my gosh, Trisha? Is her name Trisha? I'll put the links to both stencils that I used below the video, because right now the name of the designer fails me. I designed for StencilGirl as well, and I've really been trying to get some time to make some new stencils that I want to make. I have an idea, and I just haven't had time. It takes time to design stencils. You got to draw them, then you got to scan them in, you got to edit them, you got to make sure that they have the little separator connector things. It's a time-consuming thing, and I just haven't had time. But I have this idea that I think that everyone will love, so I hope I get to it someday soon. I have so many things on my list and just don't have enough time to do all of them. So I'm using the titanium white, the fluorescent orange, and then some of the blue I think I used maybe with cosmetic sponges to put a little bit of seaweed-ish type pattern in the background. It's subtle. Probably what would have worked better is if I had the reverse of the stencil. I did try to use the stencil like a stamp by using a small brayer and putting paint on the stencil and then putting it on the page and pressing it down. But the paint kind of dried too fast, so I didn't get a very good result with that. I think if you live in a humid area, that might work really great for you. Here in the super dry desert, it just dries up before I can even use it as a stamp. So then I got out this stencil of some fish. Gwen designed this one. I should know her name too. Nothing's coming to me. Anyway, I will put the links below the video to this stencil as well over at StencilGirlProducts.com. And this one has fish, and then it's got 3 different funny fish, and then it's got it's a couple different sayings. And this one was appropriate for today because I was trying to get all my videos done in advance before I went to travel, and this was last minute page, and so keep on swimming, just keep on trying as hard as you can seemed like a good message for this page. And it comes right from the stencil, so I didn't have to do anything except for just stencil it. The leftover white paint, I went ahead and went over my fishes so that I would have a white background to paint the fluorescent paint over it. Remember, I told you that this gouache paint is semi-transparent. It's not as opaque as it could be. And so I wanted to have a white, I wanted to lighten up the area as I painted the fish, because that means that the color will be more bright if it's not trying to go over that blue. Also, there was leftover titanium white paint, so I might as well use it. So then I just got out a watercolor brush and I just started painting in the fish. And, I mean, what can I say? It's like coloring, only with a brush. I didn't get out the fluorescent markers. I thought about it, and then I ended up getting them out a little bit later. But I could have colored part of this with those as well. That probably would have been smart. But no, I'm just painting with the gouache paint. What I always thought about gouache paint is that it's the more opaque version of watercolor, which then I think makes it sound like tempera paint, which is what we painted with when we were kids. And then this kind is called acrylic gouache. Acrylic is plasticky stuff. So it's not watercolor, and I'm just not really sure what the point of it is. But I did want the fluorescent set. I wanted those bright fluorescent colors, and so I bought this, and then later on I won another fluorescent heavy body paint Liquitex set from Plaza Art Supplies. I entered one of their Instagram giveaways, and I won and got a bunch of Liquitex products from them, which included the fluorescent set, which was perfect for this month. It's like they knew. It's like everyone knew it's neon time. It's fluorescent time. It's kind of funny. So, yeah, if you wanted to buy a fluorescent paint set, I would think that the most satisfying would be the heavy body paint, because it is more opaque. It's not 100% opaque, but it's a lot more than this gouache. And also, I do have the handmade watercolor fluorescent set too. That's really actually quite opaque as well. So, and I got that off of an Etsy shop where someone makes their own watercolors. But, I'll probably use those towards the end of the month because I will be back from my trip. I added a little bit of glitter. This is a Stencils glitter glue bottle that I like to use. It has kind of an iridescent glitter in the glue, and I put it on the bubbles. And then I went back in with my Posca pens and went over the lines. I knew that I was going to mess up the lines. I put the white on there. On the fish on the left, I put the white right over the top of the lines because I knew I was going to mess up the lines. So I already knew this was going to be something. I also, in the process of going over the lines, connect, when you design a stencil, in order to keep it together, it has to have those little 1 millimeter bridges but they do leave little spots in your lines. So when you're going over, you can, of course, then fix the bridges as well. So I did. That's what I did. Here's the Marabou fluorescent markers that I bought for this month. And I like those too. They're quite opaque. Using my white pen to add some details, to go around the letters, to clean them up a little bit. I didn't do a very good job of stenciling the letters. I used a brush and I pressed too hard, and some of it went a little bit underneath. You know, it goes under the stencil, then you get kind of a blob. So I can clean them up with the pen and the white and black pen. I can go around the outside and make it stand out from the background a little bit better with the white pen too. So I did that. Then I did the same stuff on the left. And yeah, this was a simple page. A couple stencils, some neon paint, a couple pens. Not even any collage. I mean, really, what's going on? How come there's not collage? It's a good question, isn't it? My pages always have collage. Not this one. I just use paint. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope you guys are playing around with whatever fluorescent marker or paint or embossing powder or spray that you might have. You know, playing along with us at Art Joy of Sharing. If you haven't joined our group already, you can go and use the link below the video to come and ask to join. Make sure that you answer the questions when you ask to join. If you like this video, or you like fish, or you know someone that does, give it a thumbs up, leave me a comment or question, subscribe to my channel. I always have videos pretty much every other day. And so there's lots of videos to see, and there's also probably a good 5,000 at least already on the channel that you can go back and watch at any time. So yeah, you can also join my channel as a member and get exclusive content. And of course you can use my links and use my PayPal donation and the super chat and the super thanks. And I mean, oh man, the list goes on. But anyway, this video is almost done. Just adding a little bit of that yellow marker is brighter than the yellow paint turned out. So I went with a yellow marker over some of the yellow paint because it's more fluorescence. And just touching up. And that's it for this neon fishy page. Thanks so much for watching. See you in the next video. Bye-bye.